too. Does my fan sound too loud?
I don't hear anything.
Oh, weird. Mike's picking up, but whatever. Anyways. Hello, my darlings. It's your host, Madam Tilly. And these are this is me in plushy form. And these are my friends. And welcome to the Elezen Retrospective Podcast, ERP. Alright, let's see here. To the right, we got the returning Hyper Robo Tenguris.
Hello, everyone. How are you doing tonight?
And in the middle, we got first timer here. It's the sexy necromancer, Sarzak.
Everyone, hello.
Yeah, it's good to have you here. How y'all doing?
Good.
Doing well. I can't complain. Which I know if I have something to complain about, I can complain quite a bit, but not today.
Oh, sweet. Maybe we could have like a grumpy rant podcast one day. Like what burns? Yeah. Let's see. Okay. Let's see here. Gentlemen, pick a number 1 to 6.
Number 1 in what?
Let's see here. Number 1. Okay, you get a milkshake. Here you go.
Oh.
Okay, Starzak, what number you pick?
It was 1 through 6.
Yeah.
I will go with 6.
Okay. Let's see. Alright, you get hard liquor. There you go.
I mean, I can get
Okay.
work tomorrow.
Oh boy. looks like Plushy Tilly's trying to get poor Sarzak drunk.
It's a tavern.
Of course.
Okay with that. I am okay with that.
Alright. Okay, so tonight's topic, we're talking about our top 10 NES games.
Ooh.
Because we love retro here on the Waifu Tavern, our Tavern Tilly channel.
Mm-hmm.
And
Love retro too.
fuck yeah. And let's see here. So, yes, the NES is a special machine. You know, like pretty much like separate. It kind of feels like the first console. You know, like Atari was kind of like the prototype, and Nintendo was like the first like home console, right? Really. And that 8-bit Magic Machine. It's like when I think back to it, NES games are so fucking frustratingly hard, but they're so damn charming. You know, it's like you boot one up and it's like that. Oh, Zoink, thank you for the follow, darling. Oh. And Huggles. So let's like, there you go. Let me hug the screen here. Yes, Huggles. Take it. Thank you so much. But yeah, that music always brings me like a nostalgia trip. You know, to be like 30 minutes later, like, why did I bother playing this? It's so hard. Or nowadays, I'm just kind of like spamming the freaking the save state button. Yeah. Oh
Yep.
man, like I don't know how you're supposed to get through like half of these games, like without like on just the 3 lives or something, or limited continues.
Hmm.
Oh man. Hey, mind if I drop in as originally planned? Fuck yeah. Did your problem pass out? But yeah, Barrow was originally supposed to come, but he had some technical issues. But looks might be cleared up.
Oh, interesting.
I put on the side drunk driver was not the answer. Left while I was in the kitchen. Ugh. He got drunk, what, 3 hours ago? Some of it had to have worn off, but I guess he can explain himself. Hey.
Hello.
Hey, darling. How you doing?
Doing good. And my problem is no longer my problem. That DUI is his problem.
Let's see. I seen the my PG is not showing up, so I might need to get another one off you. Oh wait, I do have. Okay, there we go. Got your Future Tech.
Yeah.
And your feet are hidden.
Yep, just in case Vincent shows up.
Yep.
He did this art
Okay.
though, so he's already seen him.
Hey, Tyler, darling. I'm doing pretty good, especially if you here. Ah, so you guys are just in time. We're just about to get started on our top tens. Let's see here. Technically, I got 11. However, caveat here. Uh, I could just pick one Mega Man game. So I was gonna put like the series. So I'll just disqualify Mega Man from my top 10, from the top of 11 I got. So I got 10 here at least. But yeah, yeah, the whole Mega Man series though, it's just like I can't pick. I love all 6 of them.
So are we going in ascending or descending order?
Doesn't really like I said, top 10 doesn't have to be ranked. So because I didn't write a ranking mine.
Yeah.
But let's see here. I guess should we go left to right here? So me, Bear, Sarzek, Robo. Sound good?
Yeah, that works.
Sounds good to me.
Oh. I'm down for anything. Sorry about that.
So this one is kind of hard, a little cheesy, but it's the Adventures in the Magic Kingdom. This is the one where it takes place in Disneyland or Disney World, depending on what coast you're on. And or essentially you get to hard, yeah. You basically go to like the Disney World like before it opens. Like I guess you're a special guest or something. And Vicky's like, oh shit, I lost all the keys to the front gate, so we can't let all the other people in. Can you go to all the attractions and get to the end and get the keys for me? And like, okay, Mick, I guess I'll do your job here. I thought this was my vacation. And what's cool is that this NES game just offers so much variety. So like, there's a freaking like a haunted house level. There's a Pirates of the Caribbean level. You got like a spaceship level, a racing level. There's so much variety, all difficult, but good times. Let's see. Any of y'all played that one?
No.
No, I never played that one.
I have. It's not one of my favorites, but I can definitely see the appeal, especially for like a little kid growing up.
Yeah. Bear was the first one on your list.
Mario 3, which is big shoes to fill for like any other game on this list, but at the time it was designed, the Super Famicom was coming out in Japan or close to coming out, and it was designed as basically the ultimate Mario game of the time as a swan song for the NES or Famicom in Japan. And I feel like it hit every note one of the early Mario games should hit, and it hit all of those notes perfectly.
Let's see here. Okay. Oh, thanks for Dean Tyler. Mwah. And yeah, like just scratched that one off my list because that was on it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. We're going to have some overlap because especially with the popular games. But for Mario 3, because that was my Aunt Julie's favorite game. She was a boomer, but back in the 90s. Yeah, she was a boomer. So basically, she got an NES, and that was the only console she ever owned throughout her entire life. So it's like she passed away in like the mid 2000s. Still only had the NES. She never got a PlayStation 1 or 2. Never got a Sega CD or Nintendo 64. Yeah, she basically never even got the Super Nintendo. She only like collected NES games.
Dang.
Like, she's gonna, yeah, like she never moved on to DVD. She was just collecting VHS tapes. But so it's like she kind of like had one generation of like technology and just stuck with it. But yeah, that was like her favorite game of all time. And I enjoy it too. I think it's a bit more accessible than the original Mario. Yeah, good platformer, for sure. Let's see. Sarzek, what's one of NES games on your list?
Okay, so what I did with my list, I only listed one game per series, because if I didn't do that, it would be nothing but Castlevania and Mega Man games.
Right.
So the number one game at the top of my list, which I was playing today and cursing at quite a bit, is Castlevania 3: Dracula's Curse.
Oh,
That's on my list too.
America or Japanese?
The American version. I like the difficulty, even though it makes me angry.
Go hard or go home.
Family
Yeah,
likes to be whipped, huh?
yeah. I remember when I first played this game. Like Castlevania has always had like a special place in my heart because the first Castlevania game was the very first game I owned on the NES, and I remember um, this kid down the street. He got Castlevania 3 for Christmas, and he didn't like it. So we ended up trading games. Like he gave me Castlevania 3, and I gave him something like Ice Climbers. That's what he wanted was Ice
Ish.
Climbers. And yeah, I love the game so much.
So you both got something you wanted. Oh man. Also, I think so we got a top, bottom, and a switch in this chat. It's just,
Oh God.
oh man, but yeah, Castlevania 3. That one almost made my list. But because I like the extra variety it added compared to the first game. But essentially, the different flavors are hard. But yeah, you get to pick different levels to go to. You got the friends to choose from.
Only take one at a time though.
Yeah, that was a little lame, but hey, it gives
Yeah.
you reasons to reboot it, I guess.
Yeah. Also, the Japanese version of the game actually has a better sound chip.
Yep. Konami wasn't allowed to bring the extra chip for the sound to the US version.
So they had to
I know that.
downscale.
Huh. Let's see here. Let's start with who's your favorite companion?
Oh, mine would probably be Sypha.
Nice.
I when I was a kid, it was Alucard because
Yeah.
ooh, he's a vampire. He can turn into a bat.
Hello.
Alucard kind of sucks in that game, in my opinion. Like
Yeah.
Grant is the best character to get through levels, and Sypha just annihilates bosses. Alucard kind of does both, but not as well. So it's been Sypha for a long time now.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. At least Alucard got better later on.
Oh yeah, totally.
His whole last game is considered the best in the series to this day.
Oh, yeah, did this season just drop? But let's hear and thoughts are dropping that daily positivity. Everyone deserves to be told that they are beautiful and how happy we are to have them with us. No matter who they are or where they came from, thank you for being who you are. If you have no one to tell you this, then I will. Aww.
Oh, well, that's a sweet message.
Oh. Okay, Robo, what is the first one on your list?
It's gonna be a bit of an odd one, but I'm gonna say here. It would be G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero.
Oh, that's a good game.
Yep.
Yeah, it's
Another
a good...
one off my list.
It's a good game, but it can be hard at times, though.
Yes.
Especially with the friggin' Destro boss fight, where you had to time your jumps carefully when he gets to the second phase. Like one example. Balmont's got good music, even if it does sound a little beepy. Well, not beepy, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Music's good, though. And plus the appeal of choosing from one of, like, take three out of 5 characters with you. Actually, it's 6, but you don't get them till the last stage, though. But yeah, you get to upgrade your characters, increase their health bar, and power up their weapons. And each Joe had a signature weapon to battle against Cobra.
I liked that game because it pleasantly surprised me because I was like, oh, another licensed game. This is gonna suck, and like hey, this is actually really good.
It is
pretty hard.
Yeah, it also got a sequel, except that was published by Capcom, and it's kind of not as good as the first one.
I remember one of the NES games, G.I. Joe games sucked.
That was the one I was talking about. It was the sequel.
Yeah,
Yep,
it was weird.
yeah, it was published by Capcom, that one.
Yeah, but usually Capcom doesn't drop the ball on those games back then.
Hmm. That is my top 10.
Okay, so that's another one off my list. But okay, let's see if y'all got this one. Bucky O'Hare.
Ooh.
That is a little below my top 10, but would have been on my list if it was a top 20.
Yeah. Oh man, because I remember seeing Bucky O'Hare, especially the cartoon, back in the late '80s, and just like, oh, this is kind of cool. Sadly, he never took off past that show, but he had got his own game, and the game was actually pretty good. Let's see, I surprised Yoshi's Cookie Stream. It's just, um, oh, hi Michael.
Hey, sort of same.
Shit, let me put some shout outs while we're here.
No,
Did
you don't have
play
to shout
Bucky
me
O'Hare
out.
as a kid, or is that something you played later?
What's that? Oh, I played that one as a kid. Yeah, that like I said, I saw that cartoon back in the '80s. I'm not that old, but and yeah, cause I remember liking the the variety. Although every level was freaking hard. I get to remember there was like jumping patterns you had to memorize on like every freaking level. And the bosses some of them were easy, some of them were unfucking given. Oh, hey Stu, saw you streaming today. Let me give you a shout out.
Actually,
Oh,
played
hey
Bucky
Stu,
O'Hare
how's it going?
for the first time ever this year.
What's that?
I played Bucky O'Hare for the first time ever this year, and I loved it. But oh my
Yeah.
god, that one's rough.
Yeah, what was it with the fire level? Like where the fire's chasing you, or the snake level, where you go like, where the fuck are they going? How am I supposed to get a snake over the waters? Then there's the meteor level, with the meteors and the fucking like minecart parts. Oh man. Let's see. Then I think Bucky was still kind of like my go-to character. Yeah, like. Uh, huh. Okay, Chef for Sarzak, who was playing Ori of Ecclesia last night. Was there for a bit of that. Okay. See, yeah. I think Barrett kind of stepped away, so Sarzak, take it away for your next pick.
My next one. So there are lots of threes on my list. Lots of threes.
Oh.
And the next one is Mega Man 3, which is not only my favorite of the classic Mega Man games, but it is my favorite Mega Man game, period.
You didn't think it like drag itself out with like the Doppler levels and all that?
Yes, yeah. I mean, it's got some issues. It's definitely got like some problems. The Doc Robot levels are absurdly hard, especially since when you get to Wily's level, it's super easy. Like the last boss is a joke. But there's just something really like cool about Mega Man 3 that I really always have like dug a lot. The Robot Masters are fun. I don't know. It's just always been one of those games that I've always loved over the other ones.
Yeah,
I do think like probably 2 and 4 are probably like objectively better. But I personally love 3 so much.
Was it just like a right time sort of thing?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I felt a little bit Mega Man because we would go to Blockbuster or whatever rental store we had nearby like every weekend, and I would get one of the Mega Man games. We were 1 through 5. There was never SITs, or I think I kind of moved on to the Sega Genesis by then. By the time SITs came around, so I actually played SITs for the first time this year, and I loved it. Let's see here, but yeah.
6 is really good. A lot of people criticize it for various things. I like 6 a lot, but I like Mega Man. It's
Six.
Oh,
unfair
yeah.
when I say I don't like a Mega Man game.
6 was my first and favorite.
And
I
welcome
mean,
back.
I thought the Mr. X Wily was a good twist. Didn't see it coming.
Like I didn't see it coming my first time playing, but I saw it coming eventually, and I thought it was just dumb enough to be something that Dr. Wily would pull.
Yeah, and it also came out around the time when not only was the NES nearing its end, but when it looked like they were kind of running out of ideas too, like how to keep the series relevant.
I think they did a good job. They keep doing it.
Yeah.
Like literally, they can make. I think at this point they can make any generic plot, and just have a couple fan creation like Robot Masters, come with some power. Like they don't even have to do the job anymore. The fans will do it for them. You know, they just need someone to freaking just come up with a half-assed plot and develop the game, and people will buy it. Yeah. Like if they drop Mega Man 12 tomorrow, people are gonna be pre-ordering that shit. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
one funny thing about Mega Man 6 that I learned this year,
Yeah.
2 of the Robot Masters were designed by Westerners in a contest, and the guy who designed Nightman, he's up in Canada. He still has like his frame certificate from Capcom. He has like all the stuff that they sent them, and he has never played Mega Man 6.
Huh.
And I'm just like, how could you not play this game that you made a Robot Master for?
Yeah, I'll be right back again. I'm sorry, Tilly.
That's okay. I mean, even like my kind of like most voice actors like don't play the games that they voice for or something like that. Like I was at LunarCon this weekend and I met the voice actors for Alfredo and Elezen, and they never played the game before. Well, yeah, they were like pleasantly surprised. Again to see the game firsthand at the con. But let's see here, Robo, what's your next one?
My next one, Dragon Quest 3.
Oh,
Wonderful game. Wonderful.
Yeah, first game was like the start apparently for that series, and it was it was basic.
yeah.
It was also like inspired by Ultima apparently. And then second game made it a little bit better, but still felt a little too early installment weirdness-ish. But I think with the third one, they actually did it much better. Like you could take a party with you.
Hey, Lady Matilda, how you doing, darling?
And it's randomly generated, by the way, so it's posted.
Roguelike back and then.
Yeah, like the stats and the names and everything. I think. If I remember right, I might be wrong, but someone might correct me on this. And also a very expensive world and a huge rate of monsters too. But I mean, I like the original to this day. I mean, but to me, whenever the remakes, I feel better improve upon the original. But to me, whenever I feel like it, I just play the original.
Oh, congratulations on the new PC, darling, and the comeback. Let me give you a shout out.
Hi, Matilda. Also, I'm back.
Welcome back. But yeah, because I've been a little hesitant to get do the Dragon Quest 1 through 3, because I think I got into JRPGs with the PS1, so anything before PS1, I'm like it's a little too archaic for me. But whenever I do play it, and I get pleasantly surprised a lot, like with Chrono Trigger and Phantasy Star.
Hey, Tilly.
So what's up?
Do you mind if I drag a certain OOing pumpkin into the chat to sit here and listen to us without delay?
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's fine.
Okay, here he comes.
I should give him the podcast role so he can just pop in on his own self.
Okay. Thank you, Tilly.
Oh,
Hi, Doc. What's up?
I said hello.
Hello. Do you have a favorite NES game, Doc?
I'm pretty sure I've never played an NES.
Okay.
I'm too young.
Okay, you can sit there and look cute.
He.
Right. But yeah, like you said, Robo, the first like Dragon Quest games look pretty basic, so I'm
Yeah.
always hesitant to get into those kind of like NES RPGs.
Yeah.
But at least you give it, at least if you give it a glowing recommendation, though, I definitely look forward to
Yeah.
trying it.
And it was also the last game in the Loto trilogy.
Love Pub trilogy.
No,
Dragon Quest.
Loto.
Yeah.
Or
Dragon Quest.
Ericus. Yeah, Dragon Quest. Because the fourth game, they went to a different storyline.
Okay, updates for redeemed, darlings. Huggles. Okay, Bear. Yeah, what's your next game?
Well, they're not exactly ordered on the list, so let me see which one I want to talk about next while I redeem the Tilly Slug here.
Okay.
Let's see, we already talked about Castlevania 3, so I'll just strike that one from the list. This is going to be a bit of an offbeat pick, and I'm going to have to say what people call it before I say its actual name. But most people refer to it as Faxanadu. But
Whoa.
it's actually, the name is a portmanteau of Famicom and Xanadu. So it's actually pronounced Fazanadu. But it's basically a refinement on the formula of another game on my list. And one of those games that's got better with time as fans have patched out the censorship and cleaned up the script. But it was one of those really early games to have a somewhat compelling storyline. And upgrading your equipment, your shield, your spells, all of that was just really fun for me, I guess. And like the weird Western fantasy vibe that I could tell wasn't like, exactly like the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit that I've seen, but trying to be it but a little off was really charming.
Let's see. I've heard about Xanadu. It's never gotten to myself. Although I do pick out a game called Tokyo Xanadu, which is like a modern day game.
Yeah.
It kind of gives like off like a little Persona vibe.
Same series.
Yeah,
So-
it's part of the Xanadu series. By Nihon Falcon.
Yep. The same people that do the East series.
Oh, heck yeah. You mentioned that. That's an awesome action-adventure game series.
But there were actually versions of East 1 and 2 for the Famicom, but they weren't as good as other versions.
Let's see. Then my next game is Castlevania 1.
Oh.
It was a toss up between 1 and 3. But I figured I played 1 more because every time like, okay, I'm gonna play through all the games. You start the first game and then you kind of get burned out because it's so fucking hard. But yeah, I got a lot more experience with 1 than I do 3, and yeah, it's still it's an iconic game. It's from the music to the difficulty of the atmosphere. Yeah,
Music.
and the music again. Yes. And it's just a damn good game. And start a franchise.
Yep.
Let's see. Never really got into Castlevania 2, if be honest.
Yeah, because of its black sheep status, I'm assuming.
Yeah. I think there's that redacted mod or something I should try.
Which
Yeah,
does make the game better.
The redacted mod basically saves the game, in my opinion.
That's good. Okay, Bear, I'll let you take the next one while I go grab my chicken tendies.
By the way, I should mention,
Yes?
Super Castlevania 4 and, Akumajo Dracula for the Sharp X68000, or as it was later known when it got re-released for the PlayStation, Castlevania Chronicles. Both those two games are actually retellings of Castlevania 1 story-wise.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Barry, your next pick. I'll be right back.
This is going to be an oddball pick because it's like a visual downgrade, but a gameplay upgrade of an arcade game. But Tengen Gauntlet.
Ooh, very good. Very good game.
It was one of the early co-op multiplayer games that I played with a friend of mine as a kid, and we
Oh,
ground away at it until we beat it.
then that's one I've played. Probably.
NES Gauntlet?
No. It's an arcade game.
Oh yeah, the arcade game was a real like quarter muncher and
Yes.
like basically the first pay to win game. But the NES game was just wild, I guess.
See,
It's
there was events for the game on the weekend where you paid $1, you got to play, and they just gave you a quarter, and you could just reinsert that same quarter in over and over.
oh nice.
Hmm. I'm curious, have you played Gauntlet Legends? I feel
Uh,
that's a bit of an improved game. Like, it's a better sequel, in my opinion.
yes. I played more of Gauntlet Dark Legacy, which
Hmm.
also emulates a lot better than the only version of Gauntlet Legends that I
Yeah,
really enjoy to this day, which is the N64 version.
yeah. Plus additional levels and characters, too.
Yeah,
And I think, if I remember correctly, a new final boss.
I don't remember, but I
I'm
think
back.
so. Welcome back, Tilly.
Welcome back,
What's your
Tilly.
pick?
Gauntlet.
Oh, nice. Oh man, I see I kind
I
of got like almost every
remember
gauntlet but the NES one. But,
I remember the arcade I used to play at up until like 2008. It had I think either Street Fighter 1 or 2, the original Alien shoot it game with the gun, and Gauntlet. That was
oh yeah,
actually one of the games I was able to play as an arcade, just not NES.
oh yeah, Gauntlet Dark Legacy was the shit.
Hmm.
So much
And
variety of
then the
characters.
person, and then the person got in a fight with a campground owner and took all his arcade machines and left. And then it was just fucking hunting machines after that.
Oh god, that reminds me just like the camp that summer camp story that I told. So I never really been to a summer camp except I guess technically took 2 days in my whole life. Cause we went to and because we all of us boys we brought our video games. So yeah we could just jam out throughout the nights. After a long day outside. And but nope that they counselors confiscated all of our video games.
Oh
But
no.
they left us the fucking Virtual Boy.
What? Oh, for fuck's sakes.
I said, why are you leaving that behind? And she's like, and she said because God loves things with a tragic past. I think she also left us the Dreamcast for some reason too. um, but yeah, so yeah, I did last long there. Yeah, yeah. After 2 days, I took my shit and went home. It's just, sorry, Zach, you've been quiet. Uh,
Yeah, I'm just listening.
okay, what's your next game, darling?
Okay, so my next game is only one of two games on my list that I played for the first time as an adult. Everything else is something I played first as a kid. But my number 3 game is Final Fantasy 3.
Ooh, the NES version, because I only played like the PSP upgrade version.
Yeah, the NES Final Fantasy 3 is the first Final Fantasy game that like did the job system to where you can like switch characters out and so forth. I mean, I guess the first one has like a class system, But like,
Yeah.
as you know, the job system from like 5 and 10.2 and all that, it was that game, and I think I played that for the first time like maybe 15 years ago. I had known about it forever, but I came across like the translation, the fan translation, and I just love it so much. I replay it every couple of years. I try different classes, and it's just a really really fun old school JRPG.
Bit of a downside to the job system, though. You had to, if you wanted to switch classes and you want to go back to the class, you had to redo the experience level up thing, if I remember right.
I remember there was some gimmick to it.
Yeah.
There's something
But
to
thankfully,
it.
Pixel Remaster fixes those issues and actually makes the game much better, in my opinion.
Yeah. And the 3D remake had a different shitty gimmick called job sickness, where like once you switch jobs, you had to wait a few like battles, and you just like you were nerfed.
Thankfully, it's not like Dragon Sickness. It's a Middle Earth reference.
Yes,
What's that, Sardak?
Is the DS remake worth playing?
I just said yes.
Yeah, I would say so. It's like I only dropped the game only because it was essentially a remake of an NES game which had very little dialogue. So like the lack of story and dialogue kind of threw me off. But I loved the combat and the all the jobs and stuff. Yeah, I think you'll enjoy it. Yeah, that's one thing I just one knock against NES RPGs. It's just that a lot of it just lack text and dialogue. Because like Phantasy Star, I love the game, but it is not a literary masterpiece.
No.
Yeah, like that first cutscene, it's like, evil lord killed my brother. I shall be an adventurer now. Yeah.
I will say this about Phantasy Star. Like if you care a lot about like character development and story, the best way to play Phantasy Star 1 is to play the PlayStation 2 remake, because that really gives all of the characters defined personalities, and it gets more into, like the whole story. It was really really well done, even though there's like some gameplay issues with that version.
And if I remember right, there's now an English translation they can find online.
I believe there is.
Star 1 remake?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Genie.
Both those have been, both the first one and second one have been translated. I haven't played the second one yet, but I really want to because well, I won't say it because it's a big story spoiler.
But hey, if you want to, go ahead and do it.
Oh no! It's like a big spoiler. Like if you play Phantasy Star 2 for the first time and you don't know this, it will upset you. So I don't want to say that, even though the game is like older than dirt.
I should play the Phantasy Star 2 remake. It can't be as inconvenient as a Phantasy Star 1 remake, where you probably have to still draw maps for the fucking dungeons, which is why I'm playing the Switch release.
Yeah, that Sega Age is, I guess it's like a godsend for some people.
Yeah.
Because you got like double the XP, double the loot, double the walking speed, and auto maps for you.
Yeah, I don't have the patience to draw maps anymore.
Which, luckily the maps doesn't seem as hazardous as I thought. They just drop you down a level, like, woo! I thought there'd be like some traps or some shit, or some like bigger consequences.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think like one of those like retro games last night that I was playing. Like, oh man, I would have to draw maps for this shit. But let's see. Robo, it's your turn.
All right, my number 8 choice would be. It's a bit of an old game, but I think once I explain a little bit about it, I think you might understand its history. It's pro wrestling.
Ah.
It's made by. It may look weird because it's got an unusual system. Because instead of like button pressing, you have to it's like a timing system
Mm-hmm.
where it's like you grapple a guy, and once you reach his arms, you have to quickly time what button you have to press.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a bit hard, but once you get the hang of the grapple system, it's not that bad. However,
Yeah.
the designer of that game, Masato Masuda, would take the concept for the game because he designed it, and he would later improve upon it with one of the best wrestling game series of all time, which is Fire Pro Wrestling.
Ooh.
And the current iteration is Fire Pro Wrestling World, by the way. It's really awesome, and it's much, much better. Actually, he was the sole programmer for the game, too.
One guy did it?
Yeah. Oh, he had some help, but the company was in at the time, Try. They would merge with another company, and they became Human Entertainment System, which would publish the Fire Pro series until they got bankrupt and Spike took over, and then Spike got absorbed into Chunsoft to become Spike Chunsoft, and yeah, Fire Pro Wrestling's now, the rights to Fire Pro is now in the hands of Spike Chunsoft, which is interesting because they also produced Danganronpa.
Okay, so at least they're still around.
Yeah. Also, Chunsoft was actually the developer of the first Dragon Quest.
Oh. It all goes full circle.
Yeah.
So yeah, I remember playing pro wrestling for like a whole weekend. And it would prepare me for when I got to the Sega Genesis and played the shit out of those WWF games.
Yeah. Oh, I'm just looking up. Chunsoft developed the Dragon Quest games up until the 5th one. And then Enix took over.
Yeah, it fits.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's see here. Oh, it's my turn. Contra.
Ooh.
Great game.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a good game.
Oh, yeah. The birth of the Konami code. But yeah. The movement, the hectic, the shooting pace, the annoying one-hit kills, deaths, but, yeah, and all the rain of gun effects. It was so much fun. Hard but fun. And the 2 players, it was a great time. Let's see here. I'm probably gonna play the Contra collection here in the coming months.
Oh, there's speaking of Contra, the Japanese version's actually, unlike the original NES American version, that actually has a story in the game. Like cutscenes.
So I know it was
There's
something
a
to do
lot
with
of
aliens.
changes. Yeah. It's in the Contra Legacy Collection, but the Contra Anniversary Collection, but it's not translated, unfortunately. But there's an English translation available, though, so...
I imagine.
Mm-hmm.
I remember back when Facebook was trying to do Facebook Gaming. Not the streaming service, but they actually had like their own little indie games, kind of like Flash games.
Now it's on Google Play.
Just pretty much. And there was a kind of like a Mario like crossover type of game where like you play as Link or Samus, a few other characters in the Mario world, and you actually play as Bill from Contra, and he just shot the shit out of everything, including the freaking tile, the platforms.
What? No Lance Bean? What the frig? Oh, that's his partner, Bill Reiser's partner.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, their names are Bill Reiser and Lance Bean.
Yeah, Bill's a glory hog.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Y'all like Contra?
I love
Heck
Contra.
yeah.
Contra's great.
Are you excited about the new one that's coming out in a few months?
Oh, I haven't heard of it.
Wait for it's developing it.
It looks really, really good.
Oh, well, it's in good hands then. So let me some Shantae.
We actually did the wait for it, actually did the Contra 4 for the DS.
Yeah, Super Mario crossover.
Yeah. And, yeah, Contra 4 is, it's pixel, it's like resembles the Super NES sequel, like in graphics, but it's much better looking.
Oh yeah, and I was going down the emulator rabbit hole. I kept finding all those weird like fifth and sixth gen contrast that no one really heard about. Those so obscure and forgotten, and usually for good reason. Uh, let's see here, but Bear, take it away. What's your next one?
Uh, Here's a controversial one. Zelda 2: The Adventure of Link.
Oh,
I just always had more fun with it than I did with the original. And historically, it was a time when sequels just tended to be nothing, to either be like a minor update or nothing like the original game.
yeah, kind of like Donkey Kong.
I actually have
Yeah.
Zelda 2 on my list as well. And it's kind of funny because I hated that game so much as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Like I could not get past like the fifth or sixth dungeon, but as an adult, I went back to revisit it, and I have so much fun with it. It's my favorite classic Zelda game.
I hated the original as a kid, but not for any reason other than the battery in my cartridge was dead. So I couldn't actually beat it.
Oof. By the way, have you ever played the Famicom Disk System version of Zelda 2?
I have not.
Oh god. I don't know if I should link it. There's actually a video that talks about the differences.
Well, if you don't want to link it here, you can always just like drop it in the Discord.
Okay,
like in the game section or something.
I can do that. Just give me a second while I do something.
Just like Tilly's so cute.
Okay, let me just find it.
Let's see here. Yeah, usually when it comes to Zelda, I kind of skip those first two and go right to like the best. But I do believe it is Sarzak's turn.
I'll just post in Podcast Studio the one I found.
Okay.
So before I reveal my next game, I want to ask everyone a question. What is or who is your favorite Ninja Turtle?
Oh, right, yeah.
Donatello.
Leonardo, just because the heroic leader type. And he wields 2 katanas, so that's another good thing.
Tilly, what version of Raph is your favorite? Do you like the jokester from the cartoon, or like the brooding, angry rage monster Raphael?
Oh, Rage Monster.
Rage monster. Yeah, Raph is my favorite too. My next NES game is Ninja Turtles 3: The Manhattan Project.
Heck yeah.
It's just it takes everything from the arcade game port, Ninja Turtles 2, and makes it better. And the cast of characters in it it's just awesome. You have cartoon characters, you have movie characters, you even have a couple characters that I think were only toys. It's just, I don't know, I love that game. It's just so much fun. The fight with Super Shredder at the end is really, really cool. Just a really, really good game.
Yeah, like that one. The story's so surreal and it gets overlooked sadly a lot. Because it would be you were think of the original or you think of Turtles in Time.
Right.
Or the arcade. But so Manhattan Project gets looked over so much. Because I liked all the updated animations, the variety of environments. Although I could say those bosses were what the fuck hard.
There's a lot of voice sampling in the game too, which is pretty unusual for NES games.
Oh, shell shock. Yeah. So yeah, I'm fully behind that choice of yours. Okay, Robo, what's your next one?
It will be the Lone Ranger by Konami.
Good choice, actually.
Yeah, I actually played that game again on stream months ago, and holy crap, It's a good game, but it can be friggin' hard at times, hence why I had to save scum at certain points. And there's actually even a clip from the stream where I was fighting the boss and we both died at the same time, which is so funny.
Yeah,
Anyways,
game's got.
the game's like different play things. You got like a top-down thing for overworld, a top-down view for like when you're in like a town or in other places, and then in some stages you have like it's like an action view, action platformer view, except you use your gun to shoot outlaws or such.
Yeah, like Zapper mode, pretty much.
Yeah, and then there's Zapper mode where you just walk around you walk around like a building or a cave, and at a certain point you come across like these outlaws, and you have to quickly turn and shoot them. And there's even there's even one writing stage where you have to do the same thing, except you're on silver and you have to. Yeah, it's got a good soundtrack. It's like I thought Konami wouldn't capture like the old Wild West soundtrack, but I think they did a good job on it. And it's also got a voice sample too. The high hole Silver away, along with Silver nailing his head off, which is pretty cool. And from what I've read, the plot is loosely based on the failed 1980 film The Legend of the Lone Ranger. Like, loosely inspired by it.
Yeah.
And I always, you know what, as an aside, I always feel like people never seem to get the Lone Ranger right in live action films. The TV classic notwithstanding, of course.
Yeah, one thing I love, because I played that game just this year, and that game, if you get a lot of content for your NES game in that one. It's probably as good as Final Fantasy, because like there's just so many levels, and it's like at least 6, 7, 8 acts, and it does give you a password at the end of each act. But if you died, then you gotta start from the beginning of that act, which can get frustrating if you're not doing the saves coming. But yeah, you're right. It's got kind of like an open world with the town and like the overhead map. Yeah, you had the horse chasing levels, the zapper levels, but mostly like the action platformer or overhead shooter levels. And the fact that I tried to tell a decent story, and each act was kind of felt like a story arc as well. Where it'd be like a bandit level, or girl tied to the chain tracks, storyline, or like the Indians. Like there was like a misunderstanding now the Indians are attacking, the ranger, level. So yeah, really good pick.
Yeah, that was a
And
good
then
game.
there's also it goes like the following level where the Lone Ranger battled ninjas as he tried to rescue his fiancée.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, why did you put ninjas in the Wild West setting?
Wild Wild West.
Yeah, that's my choice for number 7.
One minute.
Okay.
Two in. Okay, so this one is also one I didn't get to play as a kid. I always heard about it, never played it until recent years. Blaster Master.
Ooh, nice.
Oh yeah. Let's see here. Weird story, but the cool fact you get to go right between like you get to play as a tank with action platforming, and then you can get out of the tank, had a separate life bar and can shake pew pew and stuff, but then you get into certain caves and you had like an overhead map where you kind of like run around, shoot them up, and fight bosses and stuff. So yeah, I thought that was a nice, sweet game, and so I've been really looking forward to trying like the prequel trilogy that's on Switch and Steam. I think at least on Switch though. Yeah, Blast Master's a lot of fun. Y'all play it?
Yeah, I played it as a kid. One of my friends had the game, and I always liked playing it when I went to his house because just the weirdness of the game was like one of the charms. But I can't
Say again, I
think
cut
of
out
a
for a
game
second.
I've ever like tried to sit down and master though.
Say the name of the game again. I cut out.
Blaster Master.
Oh yeah, that was a fun one. I thought the power down when you took damage on foot ruined a lot of the boss fights, though.
Let's see here. But yeah, Bear, what's your next one?
This is gonna sound like an odd pick, but given that it was Nintendo's first worldwide hit, and the fact that the Famicom/NES was originally created to play as close to an arcade perfect game of it as possible, the original Donkey Kong.
Oh.
It was one of the least finicky platformers of its day, too. In the Super Mario Brothers era.
I imagine the game wasn't that long, though.
Oh, no, but it was also one of the first games with multiple, levels that differed in gameplay.
Have you ever played the Switch port?
I have, yes.
I love the fact that you can actually turn your Switch vertical and play like classic.
Yeah, that's pretty great. One of the things about it is, when it released here, it was a little old and crusty. But at the point it released in Japan, 1983,
yeah,
that was despite one level being missing, that was basically literally bringing an arcade game home.
Well, the NES port was so good compared to the other ports for the older systems like the Atari.
Oh, yeah.
I remember we had the Atari Donkey Kong as a kid, and I just I couldn't take it seriously. It just looked so bad.
Right. That was partially because I don't remember which one it was. It was either ColecoVision or Intellivision made a deal behind the scenes specifically to fuck over every version but theirs.
Huh. Fucking sabotage.
Basically.
That's wild. Oh, I shouldn't say that. Sorry, Zach. What's your next pick?
Okay, so my next one was Dragon Warrior 3, but we've already talked about that. So when I was trying to come up with number 5, it was either Dragon Warrior or Dragon Warrior 3. So I'm gonna say, since we talked about Dragon Warrior 3, Dragon Warrior 1, because that game, despite it being very primitive, that was my first JRPG. And I remember I discovered it through Nintendo Power. They had a promotion where if you resubscribed or subscribed for the first time, they would send you a free copy of Dragon Warrior. And I was able to convince my parents to do that. And I remember the game came in. I was a little sad that you couldn't see your character when you were in combat because it's baby's first JRPG. But I just love that game. It's the bare basics, and yet you can just sit down and go through it in a single sitting.
Yeah, that's one thing I was never really cared for the JRPGs where you don't see your character, you just see the enemy right there and stuff, and you got your text boxes on the bottom.
Yeah.
But I eventually got over it, especially once I got the Phantasy Star.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like seeing a physical avatar. Because Final Fantasy was my first RPG, so I'm used to the side view, seeing the avatars on the side.
And if I remember right, I think it wasn't until the 8th installment that characters playable characters would finally be shown in battle.
Damn, you wait that long,
Yeah.
huh? Robo, what's your next one?
My next one is actually it's considered it's the second game in this series, but it is actually the third if you're going by story. And by that I am talking about Ninja Gaiden 2: The Dark Sword of Chaos.
That is such a good game.
Yeah, Starzak loves Ninja Gaiden.
Nice. But yeah, the reason why I like this one over the others is just because it improved the first game better. Because, one, you couldn't climb walls in the first game, but here in this one you actually did. They did change a couple of special abilities that Ryu can pick up. And of course, this Taito Cinema thing, whatever they called it, still continues to be awesome. And the music too. And story-wise, like I said, this is actually the third game in the trilogy. Like, because the Ninja Gaiden 3, Dark Ancient Ship of Doom, is actually the second part of this trilogy.
So they fucked up the releases, kind of like Final Fantasy?
Kinda.
You know,
Let's see.
Ninja Gaiden is one of those series where the classic series speedrunners all have names that you can only find in speedrunning. Like, one of the biggest world record holders in Ninja Gaiden 2, I believe, goes by Jimmy Poopins.
That's quite an interesting name.
I
Oh,
really like
spe-
the clone system in Ninja Gaiden 2, how you could have like the little ninja clones come out.
Yeah,
I'm sad that they
Ryu
didn't
clones.
do that in the third game. It was just like, oh, why don't we have the ninja clones in this?
I wonder if that's where Naruto got the clone idea.
But I do remember, even though like Ninja Gaiden 2 is like my favorite in the series as well, I do remember being a little bummed out when we finally got to fight Ashtar, because the game had built him up as like this super badass villain, and his fight is like the easiest boss fight in the game.
Yeah. Not to mention he wields a kick-ass evil equivalent of the dragon sword.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and then you beat him, and then it's all of a sudden, wait a minute, why isn't the game over? You okay?
No, I was dramatic effect gasping.
Yeah.
dun, dun.
Oh, man. Let's see. So my next pick is going to be an odd choice. But it's related to my favorite movie of all time. RoboCop.
Oh? Oh,
The
yeah.
first-
Yeah.
The first RoboCop kicked ass.
Yeah, 3 was pretty good, too. A little hectic, because, everyone was shooting, like, the speed of a Contra game, but RoboCop still moved like molasses, so, yeah. And then the second one, we kind of want to talk about the second one, because, it was a platformer with, slippery physics.
And it's by a different developer.
I think all three were different developers. But,
Actually, no, the third, RoboCop 3 was done by the same developer as the NES version. The second RoboCop 2's NES version. Of course, that's Ocean.
but yeah, cause RoboCop's like my favorite movie, and so you playing the games gives me a nostalgia trip. Oh yes, it's a very good movie. Rogue City, please come out. Please let that game come out, please.
Yeah, because we want to hear, Peter Weller playing RoboCop again.
And you want to hear me going, ee? Oh, hey, Otter.
I want to try it too. Hey, Otter.
Okay.
I can tell Otter's making squeaky otter noises.
This is just. Let's see here. What's another good one for you, Rope Bear?
As Matilda mentioned a bit ago, Final Fantasy 1. I actually learned to read with that game. The whole classes thing eluded me for a while because I couldn't read the manual and I couldn't read the text in game. And my mom got really tired of reading it to me. So she started teaching me to read. And that's how I learned to read. I was like
That's incredible.
4. So.
Oh man. But yeah, that one's on my list too, so scratch that one off. Yeah, even though I would never really play the NES version, but because I played, if I'm playing Final Fantasy 1, I'm playing the PSP version.
The NES version is really fun for me specifically because it barely works.
Yeah.
It's the Pokemon Red version of NES games.
Rose. That's fine for me.
Pokemon Red was also extremely buggy in many ways, like
Yeah.
the badge boost glitch and shit like that. But things in Final Fantasy One, like the Red Mage being incredibly overpowered because the check that was supposed to make him cast less powerfully than the White and Black Mage was, it didn't trigger because the coding was bad.
Yeah, like the Thief and the Black and the White Mage were kind of bad.
Yep.
Uh,
Have you played
but
any of the remakes, by the way? Final Fantasy One remakes?
Yes.
Thank goodness they fixed up a bunch of things and improved on the script.
Yeah. The Pixel remaster with a sorry, the Pixel remaster with a Origins difficulty mod that makes it play like the PS1 version is my go-to.
Warmick.
Hi, kitty cat. My 20-pound cat just jumped into my lap.
Oh, jeez.
He's a Maine Coon.
Aw. My sister we have a Maine Coon cat too.
He's very big.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Yeah, my cat tried to take over the stream last night, so I got the door closed tonight. But first off, compliment for Bear, who is my wonderful, intelligent, smart, funny, sexy friend.
Aww.
Yeah. Yep. Looks good with those bows.
Aww.
And also, rawr.
Hang on for a second there.
Oh,
God damn it, someone's got their bass playing so loudly outside.
oh no.
I'll just poof, and then I'll blow up this chicken sandwich here.
Yeah, I haven't had dinner yet. This is dangerous.
Yeah, I haven't had dinner yet either, and I'm gonna cook as soon as I'm done this.
I've been snacking while we were talking. Yeah. I was saying, you can do that on stream. It's not illegal. Yeah. It's just... Yeah, speaking of Honors Evil, I actually thought about, like, having, like, like, hot, tasty food gifts, just, like, like a slideshow, like, the corner of the stream, and if it would ask me, like, what's with all the food pictures, I would be like, that's just to make you hungry. Yeah.
I get sleepy when I eat those, so.
Let's see here. Tarzak, distract us with another NES game.
Okay, so next is a smuff called Life Force from Konami.
That's the best shmup on the system.
Really like this. This was a case of another game that one of my friends down the street had, and I just loved playing it so much. The monsters were awesome. The gameplay was challenging. The music was kick-ass. It's just a really, and I'm not really into Smuffs all that much, but something about Life Force, I just really love the game.
It's also a spin-off of the Gradius series too.
Yeah. I will say I've never beaten it without using the 30-man code. Like, not gonna lie, I have to use the 30-man code on that game because it is rough.
How far can you get without it?
Oh, I can beat it with that.
Oh, without the code, though.
Oh, without the code? Level 3?
There you go.
Not far.
It's just... in a game called Life Force, you sure snuff out a lot of life.
It's actually called... It's called Salamander in Japan.
Yeah, it is just straight up Gradius 2 in Japan. Ow, Poff.
Actually, no, Gradius 2 is a different game.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because they... I'll explain later if I ever decide to reveal what it is.
I notice that Puff keeps popping up every time I'm on call.
It's anytime I put my headset on and like, actually talk into it, he wants all kinds of attention. I'll be right back, though.
Okay.
Yep. Doc routine and Ara, we all have to do it.
gosh.
I'll be right back.
Okay. Of course, it leaves on his turn. Sarzak, I guess take it away. Oh no, you already. Yeah, so it was your turn. Never mind. So Robo, put me up there.
Super C is my 5th choice.
Ah.
Because
Oh, now
it's much a better. It's an improved sequel on on Contra. And it's also
Yeah.
got much improved sound chip too. Like it's got more instrumentation. Plus the stages are much more better and it's more lengthier than the arcade one, which ended after 5 stages. Because in this one they expanded it, I think to give it like 3 more stages if I remember correctly.
That's a lot of content.
Yeah. As well as having different views, like, because Contra has, like, the 2 different modes. One was, like, the side scroll, and the other was, like, this, go one pet, like, it's kind of like an RPG, an old school JRPG where you're in a dungeon, you do that grid thing. You know, you press up and you move forward.
Yeah.
On the second game, they removed that and have a top-down view. Along with the side-scrolling sections, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that makes the game much more better, in my opinion.
Clock fruit.
And of course, you got to battle more aliens in that one. So that's my...
Just what we need. More things to shoot.
Yep. More aliens to kill. And that's my number 5 pick.
Okay. Let's see here. I'm down to 1 game left on my list. So I'll wait for Bear to get back.
No, I'm back.
Oh, okay. So my last game is actually the very first game I ever played. And no, my NES did not come with a copy of Super Mario Brothers / Duck Hunt like everyone else's did. You know what my first game was?
What?
The first Ninja Turtle game.
Oh, I
my
love that game.
goodness.
Dun 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 dun. Bam, bam, bam.
I legit love that game.
Hmm.
It gets a bad rep for no good reason.
People
Yeah.
complain about the damn level way too much, and it's not a bad level.
I like that level. If anything, it's just the only problem is I think the respawning enemies. They could add a little more health pickups. Yeah, actually, that's kind of it. Basically, like a nice little remake of the game would be just fine. Yeah, like
Yeah. But that game was, it was inspired by both the original comic book, like in terms of feel, but it had like elements from the cartoon, like the themes, the little bit of the theme song being played during some of the tracks in the game.
Yeah. But
Oh, and the turtles having different colors, of course.
Yeah. Oh man, and we're like, I love Raphael, but his weapon had like no fucking range, like, yeah, at all. So everyone picked Donatello just because he can fucking just like kill everyone from 5 feet away.
Yeah, it's that Belmont range, yo.
Yeah, it was basically like a freaking wood stick whip. Let's see here, and I guess technically also along with Turtles, I got Marble Madness, but I didn't really care for that one as much. Oh yeah, Ninja Turtles 1, my first game, and the last one on my list. Let's see. Okay, how many you guys got?
I got 4 left.
I have 4 left as well.
Bears?
I have 4 left as well.
Oh, jeez.
All right, start us off then.
All
Round
right.
2.
We already mentioned 2 games from this series, but Dragon Warrior 4 was one of the first JRPGs to use the expanded ROM set of, I forget what chipset they were using, but to try and put a serious story into a NES Famicom game And while Nintendo's censorship of religious and alcohol themes hurt it a little bit, it was still quite a good story, especially for the time.
Awesome.
God, that one also had a fourth game on it. Why is there a burger? That's not a burger. That's a crispy chicken sandwich.
Someone redeemed Crispy Madam.
Oh gosh. Has anyone ever tried the McCrispy from McDonald's? I am curious.
I have not.
It's like the McChicken, but it's more gourmet-like.
Yeah, the artisan sandwiches.
Mm-hmm.
Those are last because we're like just buy like 5 regular McChickens, for the same price or something.
Yeah, and it's got more meaty taste to it too. Like more
True.
more chickeny taste. More meaty chicken taste. Yeah, that's much better.
How would you rate it, Matilda? Ooh, whoa. Oh, that's right. We all gotta say ooh, whoa one more time.
Whoa.
We have to say ooh woo at the end of every sentence now. Ooh woo.
Oh god damn it! Ooh.
Let's see. So the 8 McSpicy's at McCaz? Ooh, whoa. Also, how you doing, Huey?
Macca's is slang for McDonald's in a lot of different countries. Ooh woo.
5 out of 10. Ooh, whoa. Oh, damn.
I think the best chicken sandwich blows Chick-fil-A out of the water is the Popeyes spicy chicken ooh woo. Then again, the only time I ever had Bigot chicken was when it was bought for me against my will, and when it got to me, it was traumatically soggy and limp ooh woo.
Really, the only thing that was good at the Bigot chicken ooh woo is the waffle fries. Ooh woo.
Prefer Wendy's chicken sandwiches because I just find it's much more tastier than the than the McChickens. Ooh woo. But there was a Popeyes just opened up here where I live, and I tried one of the burgers the chicken sandwiches when it came out, and holy crap, that was actually really good. Ooh woo.
Huey, when I go to like most of the Mexican restaurants in town, I hear someone shout from the back, "Hey, get the real spicy, the crazy white boys here, ooh woo."
Oh god.
Speaking of changing the name, my uncle once he tried to make it sound fancy, like for his date, like we're going to McDonald's. Hello.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. Whose turn was we on? Woo.
It was.
I think it's Sarzak.
Yeah, Sarzak's turn.
Okay. Let's see what's next on my list. Kid Icarus.
Kid Icarus is one of those games that really got overshadowed by the 2 games that launched really close to in the US.
Yeah. I never really knew anyone like growing up who would talk about it, other than like people that knew like the Captain N show, and even then I don't think they like actually ever played Kid Icarus.
Oh, that show. Woo.
It was just a really fun game, and the last level is like a complete change in gameplay, which I thought was really cool at the time. But I've gone back to Kid Icarus. I still enjoy it. I still find it challenging. It still holds up.
When Captain N reruns were playing when I was a little kid, and I really liked Kid Icarus, I kept getting made fun of a kiss because of how Kid Icarus talked to Kiss in Captain N a Kiss ooh woo.
Oh man, actually, that show kind of passed me by. But
I
I saw that game
as a kid, but oh my god, when I go back and look at it, it is just cringe.
Mega Man talking like this is mega cool.
Oh, I like, what did they do to poor Trevor Belmont?
Oh god,
Simon,
poor Mega Man. Oh my goodness.
And why did Captain just pause the game and shoot Mother Brain in the head?
you can't just solve the problem that quick in a kid's cartoon. Ooh woo. And besides, they weren't even allowed to use their weapons on people. Ooh woo. That's why Link shot lasers out of his sword at the moblins and shit. Ooh woo.
If
Because there
30
were
more
a
seconds
lot
left.
of
It will.
there were a lot of television laws against cartoon violence at the time. Ooh woo.
Apparently logic violence as well. It will. 20 more seconds left. It will. Okay. Let's see. Robo Tinkers. What's your fourth game? It will.
Fourth game is none other than Gradius 2, mainly because it's much better than the first. I mean, the first one for the NES and the arcade, they're classics, but I feel like after Salamander or Life Force, as Starzak pointed out, because it was his choice, Gradius 2 for the NES, even though it was a Japan-only thing, I feel it was much better improved upon because you had like to choose from different weapon layouts before you started the game. Weapon power-up system, and then they cut down a few stages and simplified sprites and such. But I feel it's a much better game than the first NES one. Uwu.
Oh, definitely, definitely.
Not to mention the boss rush stage where you fought like bosses from first Gradius and Salamander, which is a pretty nice touch.
For the
And the
longest
music's good too, Uwu.
Uh,
for the longest
The Uwu
time, I
timer's
straight
up,
up
by the way.
thought that Salamander / Life Force was Gradius 2. Ooh woo.
Yeah, but it's
Thank you for the correction.
It's actually a side series, Uwu.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
Thank you for the correction, Ooh woo.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you're welcome, Uwu. My goodness, this Uwu talk is just being weird, Uwu.
Ooh woo.
Mhm.
What one of my redeems when I do stream? I'm probably either retired or in a long hiatus at this point, but what one of Doc's favorite redeems is my spicy oboe,
Oh my goodness.
which is I lean real close into the mic and go, oh whoa.
Oh jeez. Oh, by the way, I posted in the podcast chat the video about Zelda. If you're curious about wanting to check it out.
Say that again.
Zelda 2 regional differences. I
Oh
posted it in podcast chat if you want to check it out.
yeah, I will. I will check that out after the podcast.
Okay. All right.
The Japanese version of that has a couple different bosses, doesn't it?
Well, no, it doesn't. But the sprite on one boss got changed for the American, and they basically replaced the boss with a new one because it was just another battle against the first boss. And also, there's a few music changes as well as sound effects and graphical changes because they did release it for the Famicom Disk System, the sequel.
Let's see. I'm back, by the way.
Welcome back, Ubu.
Uwu's are up now, so.
Oh, okay. Oh.
I'm
Let's
still.
see.
I'm
1,
still.
2. Okay.
Oh damn it! It has too long a cooldown. I was going to redeem it again.
Oh. Okay, we can keep it up then, it will.
Ooh woo.
Or I will subject Starzak to our craziness, it will. But once I get done with Dragon Quest 11, I'm probably going to do a lot more Super Famicom games.
No.
Dragon
Speaking
Quest
of...
remake on Super Famicom is really, really good.
What game, it will?
Dragon Quest 3 remake.
Yes, it is.
So that got a series of remakes as well, huh?
Yeah. Speaking of Dragon Quest 3, it already got remade for the Switch, and yet they're doing yet another remake, except this time it's in HD 2D though.
It's going to be
They
like
must really like 3, it will.
It's gonna be like fucking Octopath Traveler.
Also,
Ow! Get the fuck down, cat.
oh,
Hit
jeez.
me.
And also, the battle system it's the same, but it shows the characters, your team now, because there's a screenshot released of it, the battle,
Mm-hmm.
and it shows your characters part in the battle. This is a big change. I'm actually surprised they haven't done the HD 2D remakes of the first two games. Bit surprising.
I played like I tried to get a lot of them on the DS. I want to try out. Let's see. Yeah. I guess that takes us to Bear. Hello.
My other two are ones everyone will have heard of. So here's one out of left field: Kickmaster.
Oh, nice.
Kickmaster is one of those games that looks like it's going to be a piece of shit when you start it up, and the intro is incoherent about like the protagonist's great kicking skills to take down these scummy skeletons, and then you start playing it, and it actually plays really well. Like, you get a variety of kicks as you level up, and to level up, you have to kick apart the enemies and jump up and grab the right power up as it falls off the screen. And it's just really fun.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Kicky.
You with his feet.
You also have to
Where the kick?
rescue, and you also have to rescue a princess and avenge the deaths of her family as well as your brother.
Because he ran off half cocked and couldn't match your great kicking skills with his sword.
Yeah. And the
Oh.
antagonist is a female, by the way.
Oh,
Which is
I
another
forgot.
big thing that's different.
Whoa.
We've come such a long way. Hello. Let's see. Starzak, what's your next one? Hello.
Next, let's see. What is next for Starzak? Double Dragon 2.
Good choice. Hello.
I don't like the first Double Dragon, and I really don't like the third Double Dragon. But Double Dragon 2 is just a really great arcade beat 'em up on the NES. I just think it's so well done. Challenging, good music, good graphics. I've never beaten it before, but I enjoy it every time I play it.
Let's see. Yeah, I thought it was really good too. I think I kind of just the last levels where it's just like platform, but we got the spikes and the acid dripping. Like that was a little much for like the NES controller. Because like I think the jump, you had to use the D pad or like the directional pad. Yeah.
And you have to use like but you have to use the direction pad and both the A and B button to jump, which is ridiculous.
Yeah, so like that last level was a little fucked, for those platform challenges.
Yeah. And what's worse about that is to get the good ending in the American version, you had to play on the hardest difficulty.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But
Sounds
of
very
course the
intrigued,
Japanese
Lulu.
version doesn't have that issue, so
Oh, another reason why it's on my list. That opening cutscene with Marion and her boobs is just little kid me enjoyed that.
It's just
oh god. Oh my goodness.
panty shot. It's just. Let's see. Robo, what's your number 3?
My number 3 is Power Blade by Taito. It's an awesome game. It's got some Metroidvania-ish to it, but you don't collect power-ups. Actually, you have to get like security cards to enter the boss room. But other than that, it's like a platformer with like super primitive Metroidvania stuff. You get to upgrade like you play as an Arnold Schwarzenegger XB named Nova, and you have to stop the city's master computer from causing havoc after it goes haywire. And you have to meet up with 6 agents so you can get to the computer. And what's cool about this is that you can get to is how you throw a boomerang to kill enemies, like a metal boomerang. And then the items you get, it powers up, like fully upgrades your boomerang. Like you can make it go faster, you can make it go farther, and you can make it even do more damage too. Also, the boss fights are kind of cool. It can be a little hard if you're a first-time player, but once you get the hang of the boss fights, like their patterns, then it's very easy. And it's got good music too, by the way.
That's plus.
Yep.
Okay, we're getting down to the wire. Bear, what's number 2 for you?
Mega Man 6.
Nice.
But I've already discussed why. It was my first Mega Man game, and not my first NES game, but the first game I played when I had my own NES because a family friend had just sort of dumped his and like 20 games on me. And I had just watched an episode of the Mega Man cartoon, so I decided to play that.
Yeah, what's kind of neat is if you get the Mega Man Anniversary Collection. Um, if you get the PS2 version, and you can unlock an episode of the Mega Man cartoon.
Yeah, the first
And
episode.
yep, and on the Xbox version, you unlock Mega Man Battle Network episode, and in the GameCube, people only got an interview with KJ Inafune, so poor
Well,
GameCube fans.
honestly, I think the interview with KG Inafune is probably the best of the bunch there.
Yeah.
Even though it's from a TV show, though, if I remember correctly.
But yeah, but before he lost all his credibility.
You know,
Mighty number 9.
I think if Deep Silver hadn't fucked Mighty Number 9, it would at least be remembered as a decent attempt.
Yeah. But they were inexperienced with what he was trying to do.
Make the bad guys cry like an anime fan on prom night.
Yeah.
What know what the anime fans did at prom night when I was in school?
What, Jamie?
They snuck out to fuck.
Oh.
I think I just watched anime.
wonder
But,
if- I
Yeah,
wonder if they did
That
like
probably
that.
would have been me too.
oh wait, no, I didn't watch anime, I don't think, because I didn't have a computer back then.
see, I went to a delinquent school, and our anime club was just like a bunch of horny weirdos.
Yeah.
It was like 3 yaoi fangirls, 2 gay boys, and me.
Another gay boy.
Well,
I should have just got myself sent to my delinquent school.
I was back in the closet because these yaoi fangirls were really weird.
Oh. Oh, yeah, okay. Yep, I heard about those experiences.
Yeah.
I never heard about such stuff.
There wasn't really much of an anime presence. There was a club, definitely, in my school. And I didn't have a computer back then, so I just got whatever came on Toonami. So I think back then I would have just been playing PS2. Yeah.
I remember when Crunchyroll was a piracy website. That's a deep
legit.
cut. They became legit and started actually scamming anime studios.
There really just wasn't any clubs at my high school. Mine was a bit depraved.
Yeah, like my high school had clubs in the last year because it was mandated by the superintendent because we didn't have anything to do after school and we were getting into more trouble.
Yeah, but no clubs. Mine didn't have a pool either. So unless you're part of sports, then you had nothing to do. There's sports after school detention. That's the only. And then the artists get the fuck home.
No.
Yeah. But that's as far as I take us at these memories. What's your game, hun?
Oh, what's my game?
Yeah.
Next, I have... Okay. So, one of my favorite things as a kid was Godzilla. And when I eventually played the Godzilla NES game, despite it being kind of janky, I absolutely loved it. Like, it goes from these fun side-scrolling sections to like almost a one-on-one monster fight. You can play as Godzilla. You can play as Mothra. It's got a really cool cast of like villainous monsters. Um, and I remember I was obsessed with this game for the longest because we had at the local video rental store, we had a really good selection of Godzilla movies. And I was always trying to find like all the movies that would have each of the monsters from the NES game in it. And you
That's
couldn't do
cool.
that. You couldn't do that because some of the monsters in the NES game never appeared in Godzilla movies. It wasn't until we got internet like later on whenever I was able to like find that out. But I've always liked the NES Godzilla game, the first one. The second one I don't even like to acknowledge that.
Yeah, but yeah, that's really cool. Uh, let's see here. Robo, what's number 2 for you?
Number 2 for me would be Batman: Return of the Joker by Sunsoft.
Fuck,
Very
the
good.
Batman games.
Yeah, I love that game because it's much better improved upon the first game, which was just a video game adaptation of the 1989 Michael Keaton movie. And what I liked about that game was just because of one thing and one thing only. Well, besides graphics and gameplay.
Oh.
Kick-ass music, Sunsoft style, with that bass sound.
Yeah. Yeah,
The
it's such a neat
gameplay's really
look
good
to it.
too, and also the boss fights were unique.
Very.
It's just like how the opening, it's like the Batman versus the boss, and then
Fucking blimp.
it goes to white, and then it shows Batman strangely absorbing lightning from the sky, and then the battle starts. But that was, I don't know, it just, when I was a young Hyper Robo, that left an impression on me.
Yeah. And one of those games where you can just bounce around the game with the passwords.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see here. Bear, what is your final choice?
This one's a bit of a safe pick for the multiplayer crowd, but Tengen Tetris. It was
Oh,
just
wow.
fun. It's just fun to go head to head with friends in Tetris. I have no other reasons.
And what's wrong with the Nintendo version?
No multiplayer. Nintendo
Well,
version's
that should go
fine.
head to head.
Yeah,
I just prefer the.
it's got good music, though.
Oh yeah, I just prefer the Tengen version for the multiplayer. Is all.
Ah.
Nintendo version is a close second because it's still
Mhm.
Tetris.
Okay,
And
let's
Tetris is,
save.
is still going strong because we got Tetris 99 on the Switch.
Yeah.
That game's never gonna die. Let's see. And then well, let's just start like the newcomer here. Let him go last. Robo, what's your final game?
My final game, Mega Man 4.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Do tell.
It's an awesome game. The music, of course, it's got good story, despite it getting predictable at the end, of course, with Dr. Wily. And one thing I liked about the game, very first game to introduce the chargeable Mega Buster.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because it's a bit janky at first, but like the first time you do it, but it's like, at least later games did improve on that, but like, I just love that game because of how you can charge your shot and just do a powerful attack with it. Not to mention, I had some cool bosses and some unique fights.
I also felt Mega Man 4 was like the first Mega Man game that was really balanced throughout the entirety of the game.
Yeah.
Like the Robot Masters remain challenging, the Wily levels get progressively harder. Um, 1 through 3, while I love them, there's a bunch of jankiness in those games. But 4 seemed to be the one where they really kind of tried to balance everything with the gameplay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and nowadays I just play like the most awesome hack of that game, Rockman 4 minus Infinity. That one serves as an even greater challenge than the vanilla game, mainly because they change a lot of things. Well, overall,
Also,
I still enjoy the vanilla 4 too, so
vanilla shakes are good too.
yeah.
Um,
Chocolate shakes are good as well.
Matilda brings up a good point about the Tetris computer wars back in the day. Like they actually just dropped like a movie or a show recently all about freaking the crazy stories behind Tetris.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, Zarzak, what is your number one?
Okay, so the last game on my list. This is this is a really obscure title, and it's a Castlevania clone, and it's janky. But there's an NES game called Frankenstein that is a lot of fun. Um, I wouldn't say it's really balanced, but basically it takes like the concept of Castlevania, with Dracula being this dark overlord, and it changes that concept with the Frankenstein monster, who's just called Frankenstein in this. And it's a really fun game to learn, really challenging. Um, I only found out about that as an adult when AVGN did I think James Rolfe did a episode on like Frankenstein games, and I remember thinking, I'm like, oh, this looks quirky yet cool, and it's become one of my favorite NES games over time.
Yeah, that looks like it had potential.
Yeah, I mean, if you like Castlevania, and if you're tired of like the three on the NES, it's definitely something to check out because it is a really good clone of Castlevania. It's got some oddities and some balance issues. It's not perfect by any means, but it's a fun ride.
Not to mention the last level looks like it's taking place in a weird something you'd see out of a hentai almost.
Yes, yes.
Oh yeah, that's a lot of tentacles.
Except in this case, you're just fighting Frankenstein's monster. No tentacles, unfortunately.
Oh, no butt stuff. But oh no, this was a pretty good podcast, and these are some pretty good games.
Mm-hmm.
You know, some pretty small
Oh,
darlings.
Yeah. By the way,
oh.
top
Yeah.
10 Super Nintendo games when?
I don't know. It's October, so next week we're gonna talk about spooky games.
I wouldn't mind joining for that too.
Viewer beware. You're in for a scare.
Oh, you brought that up.
Oh.
Okay. Sarzak, hope you had a decent time.
I did. Thank you so much for inviting me. This was a lot of fun.
Heck yeah. I knew you'd do be great here. Yeah, it's nice to you're a good person to just kick back and chill and talk to.
Oh yeah, always up to
Yeah.
discuss video games. I just love video games so much.
Don't we all? Okay. And let's see. Yeah. Now for let's see. By the way, let's see. What are y'all playing right now?
Uh, surprisingly modern game on my end. MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries.
Oh.
I'm playing a lot of things right now because of the way I theme my streams. Um, Castlevania Order of Ecclesia. This is my first time playing this one. Sweet Home on the Famicom, which is really awesome. I didn't want to include it on this list though because I haven't finished it yet, and I'll be finishing Darkest Dungeon soon. Thank goodness.
As for me,
Okay.
I just play whatever. Doesn't matter which. It's usually like Genshin, Destiny 2, whatnot. As well as some retro stuff, but I do change things up a bit on my end, so I'm more of like a variety type person.
Let's see. yeah, I'm currently about to start Assassin's Creed 2, and I got Baldur's Gate 3, and then the various retro games.
Oh yeah,
Also,
I forgot to mention, since it's spooky season, I'm playing some spooky games, as well as revealing my top 5 favorite Castlevania games.
okay.
Oh, and the
Yeah,
games
that's definitely a good,
yeah,
good topic.
yeah, I'm trying to the spooky games I'm trying to play for this year are the first 3 Resident Evil games. It's like the 2002 remake and the recent remakes for like 2 and 3, because I got those on sale. So yeah, looking forward to those. I was prepping up for my upcoming 4th anniversary.
Congratulations, darling.
Oh, thank you. And my birthday too.
And happy birthday.
Oh, thank you.
Happy birthday!
Birthday.
One game
Okay,
I'll
let's...
never ever play though, Hunt Down the Freeman. We don't talk about it.
Hey, Tilly, I got an image for you to put up on screen to celebrate
Oh,
the impending birthday.
boy. Okay, let's see it.
Sending it to you now.
Huh.
Oh?
Okay, yeah. Good use of the that syrup frosting.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
See, there's your birthday cake, darling.
Aw.
only the most ominous cakes.
Oh my goodness.
Every time someone has a birthday, I Google ominous cake that just says birth.
Let's see here. Who should we go for our raid target today?
Hmm.
Let me check who's online.
Oh, I think I might have found someone though.
Is Knocked online?
No,
No.
he's not online.
Done. Is M online?
Don't see M online either.
Chadley with?
Uh,
Let's see.
my friend Iris is online.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
I will put her name in chat.
They do it in Minecraft.
Yeah, she does a lot of Minecraft. She made my overlays. She is a cool and a good
Yeah.
and an Android VTuber.
Oh. It's alright, Hippion.
Sleepy boy.
So much beer.
Oh, okay, it's like a little robot tuber, huh?
Mm-hmm.
It's heckin' cute.
Yes, she is. And you can feel free to quote me on this. She is a great cool.
Okay. Anyways, darlings, thank you all for hanging out. We're gonna raid. Let's see here, Arissa TVT.
You can just call her Iris.
Okay. And so yeah, next Wednesday we'll be talking about some horror stuff.
Viewer beware. You're in
Indeed.
for a scare.
Oh.
It's okay, Doc. I'll menace you in PMs later.
Oh. Heck.
Oh, it's intended for mature audiences.
Yeah.
I'll be back on tomorrow, darlings. Y'all have a good night. Love you.
Right.
Bye.
Good night.
Good night.